Hi there and welcome to Planet Zoo. So today I've got a quick video that's a bit different to anything else I've done before in Planet Zoo. See, I spotted the other day on the Planet Zoo Nation Facebook page that somebody was having a little trouble with creating a waterfall piece, and they were asking for help from any YouTube creators that could help recreate this piece. Well, I've got a few spare hours today, so I figured I'd give it a go. So here you go, waterfall challenge accepted. I had a look at the various block types and I eventually settled on the temple block, so I hope that's okay, since the temple block is one of the pieces included as part of the South American DLC. Now, I went with that because it looked pretty similar to the stone that was in the picture, and the temple block is great because it's flexicolour, so you can change the colour to match. Now, unfortunately, the waterfall effect in Planet Zoo is a little bit aggressive, so I did have a play around with some of the pieces, and I went with the murky water effect because it was a little softer than the traditional waterfall pieces. Ideally, the waterfall pieces are best suited to some kind of waterfall you have in a habitat, so it's kind of quite a distance from where people are going to be because it does spread out quite a bit as well. So you'll notice with this one, the water ripple effect kind of goes into the air. So, I mean, it looks okay from a little bit of a distance, but if you get up close, you can see that ripple effect. So what I'm doing here, now, if you've got multiple buildings as part of a piece that you want to repeat, like I have here, then the game won't let you simply copy and paste that. You have to select all of the groups, then save that as a blueprint. Then that allows you to place and repeat the blueprint how you want it. It's a bit annoying and fiddly, but it's the quickest way to repeat a design like this if you've got building pieces in there that aren't part of the same building group. So the living wall part of this build, now the person asking for this, they asked for the waterfall, they didn't ask for me to build the living wall as well. But I figured since it's the same kind of stone and it's a similar pattern, I may as well just add that to the waterfall just for completeness. I've used the same technique basically. So you create the pattern, then you save that as a blueprint, and then you just copy it up. So I went with a mix of foliage here. So you've got some ivy that's the one that's clinging to the wall. Then there's a couple of other bushes and some flowers in the mixture there, just for a bit of variety. I did try and get it to match what the picture had, but I mean, you could basically put anything in there and it'd probably work. So that's this piece complete, essentially. Although I know the person who requested this, they wanted to see how you could do it with actual water in the basin of the waterfall. Now, you can do that, but there's a lot of difficulties with it for a number of reasons. So first off, in the picture, there's a lot of tables and chairs up close to the waterfall, and Planet Zoo doesn't allow you to do that. You can't put the path that close to where real water would be, because you have to use a barrier to create the water, and barriers and pathing just don't mix. I can show you here though how you can add water to the basin. So I'm going to take the blueprint that we've already got and just put that down again over here. And what I need to do is create a glass barrier all the way around this basin. We can use this to create a kind of pond effect. The problem is, as soon as you start messing around with the water physics, it starts getting a bit fiddly. Sometimes it's non-compliant for no reason. So anyway, at this stage, I'm just tracing around the base of the waterfall, and I'm going to go all the way around that and then connect it up at the other end, and then we're going to add water into the middle of it, and hopefully it works. Right, so that's our barrier all the way around. Now, obviously, it's sticking up way above the rock, but we can deal with that once the water's gone in. So there you go, real water in the basin. And to be fair, it doesn't look that bad having the barrier above the rocks. You could probably get away with that in certain situations, but we're not here to do that today, so I'll show you how you can hide this. So basically, you just highlight the whole barrier and then drag it down so that it's at the lowest point it can be. And of course, typical, it's not working for me. So this is what I mean, it can get super fiddly because sometimes the game just decides it doesn't want to comply. So I'll move the waterfall out the way so we can get a closer look at what's going on. Right, so highlight the whole barrier again. Drag it down. Nope, not working. Gone red. Okay. So take the water out, and that means that you can move things a bit easier and it might not be so angry. Yeah, so that's the lowest height you can get. And with this, it refuses to take any water. Right, I think I know what the issue is here. Now, sometimes you just have to move the corners out a little bit because it could be that there's too sharp an angle on this corner. And I think we also have to raise the heights ever so slightly. Let's try. Yep, there we go. Now it's got the water in. So I think this is the lowest height it can take. Yeah, there we go. Going red if we take it down any lower. So we have to stick with that height of the barrier. Right, let me move this waterfall back across and we'll put it over the pond. Just make sure this is lined up right. Okay, so now we only have a small bit of the barrier showing here. So the way to get rid of that is to copy across the brickwork from the bit of the basin here and to move that up a little bit and leave that until it's hidden. So there we go, waterfall with water, real water in the basin. Now, honestly, if you want my opinion, you can't even tell. Now, what we have before with just the waterfall pieces, it looks just as good as when you've got real water that you've gone about and fiddled with all that barrier stuff to get it in there, and it really doesn't make that much of a difference, to be honest. So there you go, waterfall challenge complete. Now, this version of the waterfall is on the workshop. There's a link to that in the description below. The other version that's got the barrier in it, now I can't put that on the workshop because it's going to have to be saved as a habitat. And when that copies across, it will only save what's inside of that barrier. So all the big fancy stuff beyond that, it just won't get saved. So I think you can see some of the issues we have as creators when you're starting to mess with water and barriers and stuff. It just complicates things. Anyway, I hope this helps. If anyone else has any little build requests like this, tag me on Twitter and I'll take a look. I'll leave a link to my Twitter below since somebody already took Plastic Swans on there, so I'm Swans Plastic on Twitter. I'll probably eat my words now actually if someone sends me something really ridiculous or crazy to do. Anyway, that's it from me today, so thanks for watching, bye for now.